Alrighty friends, we're back. We've let the dough bench rest for about 20 minutes or so. I'm here again with Ellen and Paxi. As you can see, when I took this off, this is spread out. It has relaxed. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use a little bit of flour just to create a dry surface, because we're going to be flipping this over, because what is important is having the top. We've got a top here. It's going to be less sticky on the top and stickier on the bottom, and we want to keep track of that. So what we're going to do, we're just going to shape it back up again just a little bit, so it's a little bit easier to turn over. And kind of turn it around here, and then we'll just flip it over. As you see, it's very relaxed compared to what it was before. And so what we're going to do with this is we're going to do our final shaping and put it in our Bannetons. And before we do that, we want to put...
What were those called again?
Bannetons? Bannetons. So I'm just putting just a touch of rice flour in it. I don't need a whole lot. And I'll spread it between the two of them, because I've never really had much trouble with it sticking at all. This is more granular than regular flour, and it won't try to ferment. It's a good rice, good flour to use. Okay, so these guys I think are pretty ready. So the first thing we want to do with this is we want to shape it in a way that allows us to fold it over onto itself. And remember, the dry side is on the bottom now because we flipped it over. And we're pulling it out. And you can see the bubbles in here. I'm going to pop a couple of the biggest ones because we don't want too many of them. We're going to fold the sticky side, which is up, over. Fit it in there a little bit. And flip it over there, so you kind of make a little envelope there. And then I think I'm going to just turn this I normally don't. I just try to keep it in place. You see there's some there. And now I'm going to pull and fold into itself, rolling it over itself, using my thumbs to kind of tuck that over. You can see it's getting thicker, and it's real nice and thick there. And so we are pulling this over into a log there. And now I'm kind of just pinching the edges there. And now maybe tuck it up under itself a little bit just to give it a little bit more. You want that surface tension. You can see how I stick the blade underneath there. It kind of builds some tension on top there. And once I get it there, I flip it over into the Banneton. And then you can see the sticky part there. You can use that to actually stitch, which again continues to create that tension of what is now the top is in the bottom of the pan now. And when we flipped it over, we are going to be good to go. So this is all ready for baking in about 14 hours. I'm going to stick this in the refrigerator. I'll put a top on it in a little bit, or a piece of plastic on it. But let's pull this guy off of here. And you can see how that has all relaxed there. And just don't need much the flour, because you really want some of that stickiness to be left when you get done, to stretch it as you fold it over. And so we're just going to again do a little bit of shaping just to get it into a reasonable sized piece that you can pick up and flip over. Okay, now let's you can have I should have put some on there. Make it just a little less sticky. The top part you want to be able to pull out, have it stick out. It's not as much of a square as I did the last time, but we'll get there. You really want to be delicate with this because you don't want to deoxidize all the air that's in there. Okay, so we're going to do that sticky side on the sticky side, and then sticky side on the sticky side. I'm just going to do it from this side here. I really don't want to move it any more than I have to. Just pull it out a little bit here. And roll it up, roll that nice feel of the dough in there. You can just see how thick it is, and little air pockets in there. That'll make a difference when it comes time to, when the baking finishes up, that all that air pockets in there, creating all those nice places for your butter to fit into. So I'm just gonna, and here, tuck in, creating just a little bit of pressure underneath there to get it to create surface tension. A little bit of bubbling there. That's not a problem. It's just you'd like to see it most evenly distributed. And there it's in the basket. And I can just go ahead and start stitching this together. Again, that's just putting a little bit more tension on that bread there at both ends, so it looks better when you pull it out of the oven. And I think we're there. Just put a little extra flour on top of these things before we put it in the refrigerator. So that is ready to go into the refrigerator for the retard, as they call it, where you are letting it continue. It'll continue to rise some more, but then finally will cool down, and it'll slow down and stop overnight. And then in the morning, I can just stick those into the oven, to a hot oven, which we recorded earlier today for the last set that seems to have received good reviews from people who have eaten it. Yeah. So I think that's going to complete the video portion of this, and we will stitch that together into a video.